Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So, we got to talk about something that I thought would never happen. I was in the camp of people saying that this player would never play another basketball game in the NBA, and I'm kind of happy to admit that I was wrong on that. But Lonzo Ball played a basketball game. He's actually played a few basketball games this NBA preseason, and I want to talk about it because, what the future is for Lonzo Ball and stuff like that, because obviously the team's a lot different now. The Chicago Bulls are a different team than they were when Lonzo Ball got injured. Lonzo Ball has been out for 1,006 days. Okay, that was the last time he played basketball. He's been out for 2 straight seasons, and then, I guess half of one or a quarter of one. And I have some thoughts about this. The first being that I had a feeling Lonzo Ball was at the very least going to try to play this year because he's in the last year of his NBA contract. It is a player option that he opted into. We all knew he was going to opt into it. There was no way he doesn't, especially with his knee injury and stuff. I think we all knew, even if he didn't play, he was definitely going to opt into it 100%. So he opts into the contract, and the Chicago Bulls are pretty loaded at the guard position, man. They got Chris Duarte. If you're a Pacers fan, you remember him. They do have Zach LaVine, who they're playing at the 3, which is a little weird this year. They no longer have DeMar DeRozan, which sucks because if DeMar DeRozan was still on the team, I'd say maybe this team has the chance to maybe grab the 7th or 8th playoff spot. I think they could be a play-in team. But they do have Nikola Vucevic on their roster still. Kobe White has taken a lot of steps forward. They have Josh Giddey now, which, you think what you want about that. But Lonzo Ball is back. And I watched a couple of these games, actually, because I was very curious. I was let's see how Lonzo Ball looks, right? And he looks good. I'm going to call it what it is, man. He looks good. However, to me, it looks pretty obvious that he has either lost a step or he's taking it easy. I really wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Lonzo Ball, running the fast break and, just locking people down on defense anymore. The Bulls also lost Alex Caruso. They don't have Alex Caruso anymore. So this is a team that I look at and I'm just like, okay, what can Lonzo Ball really provide to it that is different? They now have Jalen Smith, Patrick Williams, I'm assuming, will hopefully be getting some more minutes this year. Matas Buzelis, if I said that correctly, is a guy that I picked for Rookie of the Year. I think he's a really, really good player, and I think having Lonzo Ball and Josh Giddey on that team could help him move forward, as well as some of the other guys on their roster, like Patrick Williams, even Jalen Smith. They have a lot of young guys that I think having a pass-first point guard on their roster will help a lot. But my main issue with this is the idea that Lonzo Ball still, to me, doesn't look 100%. He's out there, he's playing. But my problem with the whole thing is I think he's playing just to show the world that he can still play basketball. I just don't feel like he's given it 100%. I feel like he's maybe running on 80% instead of 100, and even 80% Lonzo still looks pretty good. He's shooting the 3 well. He's getting into his spots. Yeah, he's not taking anybody off the dribble, it seems. Even his lateral defensive movement is not what it used to be. But I'm just glad to see him play again. Because a lot of us were he's been out of the league for a while. And, coming back after being out for 2 years straight, almost 3, is really, really hard to do if you haven't been training every single day and getting runs in and stuff like that. I would assume he has been, but it's just the idea we haven't heard anything about it really. He is also, he did come out and admit that his, big baller brand shoe, the ZO2, was so bad that it was, literally ripping every single quarter. He mentioned that on the Bleacher Report Kicks podcast, where they were talking about his shoe, and he said every single quarter, he had 4 or 5 pairs on the bench because he wore them because it was his signature shoe, right? And he wanted to wear it, but they were falling apart. He said every single quarter I had to replace my shoes. He's like, it's funny how like every time I just magically played better once I switched my shoes. So yeah, it's pretty crazy to see that he's back. I'm glad to see that he's back. The thing is, here's the thing for me with the Chicago Bulls, though. I have a feeling, I don't think they're going to do Lonzo Ball dirty, but it is, the National Business Association, as Born Ready Jones would call it, and Lonzo Ball's contract is worth $21 million. It's great that he's back. It's great that they're giving him the opportunity to play. It's just, I have an odd feeling like now that he showed the NBA he can play, the Bulls are going to try to trade him at some point. They've already tried to trade Zach LaVine. They traded Alex Caruso. They traded DeMar DeRozan. So last year it looked like they were ready to give up. And now that Lonzo Ball is back, I think that changes a lot for the Bulls, because Lonzo Ball, the last time they were a playoff team or even had a positive win-loss record was when Lonzo Ball was playing point guard for them. And when Lonzo Ball is 100%, Lonzo Ball is very good. He's made a lot of strides in his three-point shooting, just his awareness, his defensive ability, everything has been really good. Since he's gotten into the league, when he went to the Pelicans, the dude was shooting almost 38% from three. So Lonzo Ball has really improved as a player, and I feel like what's going to happen here is the Bulls are maybe going to try to use him up until the trade deadline. I think what they're going to try to do is, like, at the trade deadline, move him. Maybe they're going to try to move Zach LaVine. From what I hear, the market for Zach LaVine is non-existent. But to me, if I were a GM, it makes a little bit of sense that it's like, okay, Lonzo Ball is playing. We don't know, how long he's going to continue playing. We don't know, that knee could go at any moment. I don't want to wish bad on him, but if you're a GM, you have to be thinking about this. It has to be a worry on your mind. And I have a feeling that they might try to trade him. And the good thing for Lonzo Ball is I think there would even be a lot of suitors. He's one of those guys that you can add to pretty much any team, and he is a benefit to your team. He's one of the best defending guards in the NBA when he's 100%. I will say this, after having all the surgeries he's had, I think he tore his MCL or something like that, and then he had to have cartilage replaced in his knee and all this other stuff. I don't know if Lonzo Ball is ever going to be the same Lonzo Ball again. He'll be the same Lonzo Ball, just at maybe, 70% or 80% instead of 100. And even that is still something worth calling about. If you're the Lakers specifically, if D'Angelo Russell is your option, maybe Lonzo Ball is, a good backup or a guy you should look into. But I don't want to jinx him. I don't wish bad on him. I hope that he continues to play in the NBA. I'd like to watch him. He's still relatively young. I think he's 25 or 26 years old. So he's still a relatively young player. It's just I wouldn't be surprised if they play him this year with load management minutes. Maybe he doesn't play back-to-backs. Maybe he only gets a set amount of minutes per game until we see what he's really capable of. It sucks, man. He's a guy that I was really, really done with, essentially. I was I don't think he's coming back. But in the couple preseason games that I've seen him play, I think he played 2 or 3 preseason games. He looked pretty good. So Lonzo Ball is back. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that, but I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad that he was also able to continue to fulfill his dream. I also like the idea that, he's going to be eligible to get paid his player contract. His player contract's worth $21 million, or his player option is worth $21 million. So I'm glad that he's at least going to get paid. Obviously the Ball brothers, LaMelo's got a max contract. Lonzo's making 20. The only one who's not is LiAngelo. That family is going to be fine. I promise you. But it's just nice to see that Lonzo's getting that opportunity again, because I really didn't think he was going to. A lot of people didn't think he was going to. Even, Rusty Buckets and Sporting Law, everybody was like, I don't think there's any way he comes back. And he proved us all wrong, which I'm actually happy about. I'm happy that he was able to prove us all wrong and step foot on an NBA court again. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.